Matthew,
Yes.
how's it going there?
Very good, my friend.
Long time no see.
Yes, sir. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. What are you doing with your desk out here? Wasn't it back over there before?
Well, a lot of stuff has moved from, time to time, back and forth here and there. I'm always moving the place around, making it a little bit more comfortable and quaint.
You look quite comfortable back there.
Yeah, it's a little hiding spot here. So I turned it into like a little reception desk here. This is where we bring up our haircuts, and I think it's just a nice focal point for the shop.
Nice. So what else has changed since we were here last?
Well, it's been a couple years, Harry, so we've been very blessed. We've got very busy, and a lot of people from around the world has actually visited the shop here.
And I actually noticed over here.
Yeah.
What is this?
So basically, this is a collection of the currency of tokens of gifts that customers have given to me from the different parts of the world in which they are from.
Who is this?
And that's Israel.
Israel, okay.
Yeah, Israel, and it looks like Arabia, Australia, and
Goes all the way down, yeah?
Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And it just started, honestly, the first one I ever got was this one here. This was the first one that was ever given to me from a customer many, many years ago.
Oh, wow.
And then I just had it at my register, and then they just kind of noticed. They said, "What's that?" I said, "I don't even know." Another customer had to tell me where it was from. And then it just kind of trickled, and people were like, "Well, I've been here," or "I'm from here." And they just kind of, little by little, just keep on tacking it up. And I think it's just nice to have on display there.
So what else is new in here now?
Well, as you know, I'm a collector. We got a lot of stuff here. I love books. I don't read, but I just love having books for entertainment.
You have picture books?
Yeah, I just kind of skim through, and customers like, selecting books,
And you got one of your heroes up on the wall here?
Were you referring to Barack Obama?
Yeah, yeah. Or is it getting a little political?
Yeah, so I've actually had that picture of Barack Obama since he was first inaugurated. I actually had it at another smaller shop that I used to have in El Paso, Texas.
Oh, wow.
And it's one of the first original pieces I ever brought into the shop when I first opened. Yeah.
And then you got the Jesus thing here.
Yeah, love Jesus, big fan.
I love these ones. Do you remember the Elvis, the velvet Elvis Jesuses that used to go around?
No,
Have
I've
you
never seen those.
It was like a velvet around. It would be a similar thing with the velvet.
Wow.
So,
No, that's pretty cool.
what kind of feeling are you hoping people will have when they come into the shop?
Yeah, so, what I notice is when people first come into the place, they kind of look around. They feel a little bewildered. They feel like they just entered into someone's private workplace or private, even a bedroom, really. And once they see that I'm cutting hair and they see people kind of seated and waiting, then they kind of ease in. As you know, we live in Phoenix. It's very hot and bright outside. Then their eyes start to kind of focus and narrow in, and they just kind of relax. You know what I mean? So my main priority is that a customer feels welcome, comfortable, and especially entertained. I go the extra mile as far as entertaining people. I like to offer little snacks, little popcorn, a complimentary drink on the house while you wait. And there's a class of people that want things done in a hurry. They want to get an appointment. They want things stacked. And that's understandable, and that's okay. But this place is mostly designed for people to come in and just kind of relax and just kind of wait for their haircut. You know what I mean? Mostly on their days off. And I just want people to feel at home, feel welcome, and respected and loved immensely.
And it's with all the chairs, it's like easy to feel welcomed, isn't it?
Yeah, so everything is kind of mismatched here, as you know, and I was aiming more for like a man cave, something dark and nothing makes sense and it doesn't matter.
Not a Batman cave, but
yeah,
a man cave.
A mat cave.
A mat cave. A mat cave. Okay, yeah, that's even better.
Yeah, so people love it here, and I'm honored and just touched by how much love and respect it has been thrown my way.
So if you're still collecting stuff, yeah? You're still acquiring things all the time.
Yeah.
Do you have to make room, or do you have plans for a bigger place to put everything?
Yeah. I don't have plans for a bigger place. I like it in here. I just brought it just before the level of a hazard. And I'm trying to avoid that because the biggest challenge is keeping it clean, wiping it down, dusting things down, and just staying sanitary especially. But I'm a collector. If I find something that I like, I've been traveling, me and my wife, last couple years, and every time I go somewhere, I bring something back. And also customers are so sweet. They bring gifts. They
Yeah.
bring me stuff. They bring me toys. They bring me all kinds of pictures and frames and things that I will cherish and keep because, you know, it's a token of their appreciation.
Are there 3 things in the shop that you really like? What are they?
Yeah. People ask me that a lot. So there's a lot of stuff. They always narrow it down to 3.
Okay.
So as of now, I would have to say this Ark of the Covenant replica right here. I brought this in from Jerusalem. And when I first looked at it, and my wife knows how I am, when I look at something, she's like, no, it doesn't fit in our luggage. And she thought that that was the end of it. I said, I'll buy it its own damn piece of luggage. And so I did. So there it is. The jukebox, even though it's just a Crosley remake, it's not an authentic jukebox, but it's just a remake. It plays DVDs and your little iPad and so forth. But honestly, it just lights up the place nicely, and I've always liked it. And I remember when I first started looking for jukeboxes online for sale, they were going for thousands.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just barely starting the business up. It was very difficult. And just by luck, I found it on Craigslist for a great price.
Oh, wow.
So I had to get it. So
Wow.
there it is. So people ask about that. That's the second favorite here. And of course, the third and final would have to be Batman.
Batman? Where did you find that one?
Well,
That's a
luckily-
life-size Batman, yeah?
Yes, it's a beautiful piece. Luckily, a record store was going out of business, and it was a very high-priced item. And at that time, I was trying to pay for a wedding. Me and my wife were getting married at the same time, and it's just not something you buy into when you're already investing in a wedding. But I took advantage of an opportunity when me and wife had a little argument and so forth. So I went and bought the piece as soon as I was mad at her as an excuse to kind of like console myself and you know a little bit of treat to myself, you know what I mean?
So what did she say when she found out? She was like,
Well,
it's
she
me,
said-
it's
she
me or
said-
Batman?
Yeah, she said, what the hell did you get that for? I said, I was mad at you. And she's like, what did I do? I said, you didn't answer my text message this morning. She said, I was asleep. I said, that's your problem. There it is. So that's actually my third favorite piece.
She was probably happy that you brought it down here, wasn't she? So how come you're not on social media?
You know what? It's tempting, you know.
I mean, you could have a whole like Instagram feed just of the things that you have in the shop here.
Yeah.
And
It's tempting. I just might down the road, but for now, honestly, I did try getting in on social media, but honestly, it took a little bit too much of my time. I really want to put my focus on my work. You know what I mean? When I come to work, there's usually people waiting. I want to serve them, and I give them a lot of energy. I give them most of my energy. And they got my cell phone number, shop number, you know, business hours and so forth. And I just didn't want to invest any time in social media. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just I'm trying to be a little bit more intimate and more personable to the people that we serve here. Because it does require a lot of energy. The way I operate, I'm all over the place. I'm in the haircut, I'm in the greet, I'm in the dismissal, I'm in people being comfortable here. I'm in whether they're, you know, being treated correctly while they're here in business. And at the end of the day, I'm drained, I'm tired, want to go home, take care of my family and focus on that.
that's probably a good thing, yeah?
Yeah, you know, I'm married, I got parents that I look after, you know, so being online is okay. I do a little bit of that, but mostly in relation to the business, I just like to keep work where work is.
So, I mean, you changed it all in here as well, yeah?
Yeah, things move around from time to time. I just try to squeeze in, you know, as much junk as I can possibly afford.
Because before you had your workstation back here,
Yeah,
and now you're kind of here, so you
Yeah.
can keep an eye on things and
sure.
stuff.
Yeah, I work on this station now. I kind of brought it over here, and I hired another associate to help me out ever since. And I got a pretty good team here.
And then the famous phrase was like, was it $1 million for $20?
Yeah,
And stuff
look and
is-
feel like $1 million for 20, but
Yeah.
it's 40 now. So thank you so much.
But you still feel like $1 million, so it's
Absolutely.
it's still a good deal then,
Yeah,
isn't
we
it?
can bump it up to $1 trillion.
Do you read the comments on the video? Remember the last one? You've had like over 4 million views. What do you think
Wow.
about that?
Wow. Well, that's a blessing, and it's an honor that you posted my video. Thank you so much, Harry. And since then, I have people from all over the state, all over the country, all over the world. First of all, to come and visit, what an honor. And, you know, when people from great distances leave comments, it's beautiful, it's very sweet, they're very complimentary and very respectful, and I appreciate that. and it just melts my heart, you know? What an honor when someone walks in the door, though they've never been here before. They've been here before, you know, because they've seen the video a few times.
What do they do? They come in and say, "Oh, that's that thing," and
and they're like, "It looks different in here," or "There's more," or "Where were you seated?" And it almost kind of like
they're trying to piece it all together.
Yeah, like a visual hunt of like, God, it's smaller in here than I thought, and that's kind of cool, you know.
When we were here before, it was called was it House of Shave Barber Parlor Phoenix, or or the Phoenix House of Shave Barber Parlor. Yeah, it's not called that anymore, is it?
You know, House of Shave Barber Parlor was a beautiful title that I conjured up, you know, for the business when we first opened, because I mostly wanted to focus on shaving, facial shaving, but I got so ridiculously busy. Shaving just took more time, and people were waiting longer, and I was doing more haircuts anyway. And people would call in, and by word of mouth and recommendation, is this Matt's, or who's Matthew, or where's Matt? Because they know me as, by name. And it's just shorter to say, yeah, this is Matt's or Matt's. They just call it Matt's. So customers started calling it Matt's. And I'm like, that's not the name of the place. It's House of Shave Barber Parlor. How may I help you? And the Matt's is like, Matt's, hello, bring, Matt's, hello, Matt's, how can I help you? So it's kind of easy and it's catchy. So I went with it. I changed the title to Matt's Barber Parlor.
So before we go, any last things you want to say to everybody watching?
Well, it's been a great ride. We're running on 9 years this July, and it's been a blessing and an honor that you loaded my video into your channel. And I just want to express my gratitude to you, Harry. Thank you so much for loading me up. I've received a lot of love, a lot of blessing, a lot of money. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much. And we've been blessed. And we look forward to many years here. And this is a small enterprise. And I've been successful simply because I put my love and my heart into what I do. I'm a barber. I cut hair, I serve people, and I'm proud to be a servant. And I'm here for the long haul, man. This is a great opportunity and a place to, where people get together and get a haircut and enjoy the rest of their day, the rest of their lives, and I'm here to serve.